Okay. Um, First things I want to go over with both of you is the changes I made to your Google Sheets. So if you have those handy, feel free to bring them up, and I'll just explain to you what I did there. Second, I'll bring it up myself so I can see what's going on. Okay. uh, First of all, if you did not have weights associated with your items at the very bottom of the page, I added them just to make sure your encumbrance is set properly. Um, Anything that is not on your person per se, but perhaps on a mount or in your cart, I kind of put that off in a separate category so you're not being weighed down by it. But just keep in mind that if you're not near your cart, you don't have access to those items immediately. Um, Something else, just some formatting issues on your sheet, Bandy, for Tarok, so you can actually read your backstory now. Um, and the main thing is, if you look in the features, traits, and virtues panel, you'll notice I rearranged that a little bit. And if you scroll down to the near the bottom, you see additional features and traits. So there are now 3 places where you can put your features, traits, and virtues. So I used the first vertical panel underneath the shadow panel for your calling features. That's where you see expertise and sneak attack, Tarek. And if you click the check mark beside one of them, you'll notice that the text in the first field of lore will change and update to reflect what you selected. So it'll be a brief description of what that is. Do you see that? Let me know if you're having trouble seeing it. I don't see you in the document, Bandy. Are you guys still there?
I'm sorry. I've been talking to you all this time and I'm muted. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I can see the changes you've made and
Okay.
everything else. So I don't know
Okay.
why I might not be showing up as observing it.
Okay. No, that's fine. As long as you see, so you can just check the box beside the item you want details on and uncheck anything else, and it'll update. Um, so your callings will be in the first field of lore, and then if you go down to the bottom to the additional features and traits, the first column is for your cultural traits, for use all your hobbit traits. And again, if you click one of them on or off, you'll see that the second field of lore on the far right hand side of the page will update with your description of that. And the second column of that panel is going to be for your virtues when you level up and gain those.
Yeah. So sneak attack is checked. I can read sneak attack in the first field of lore. I see
Mhm.
nothing below it.
Are you looking at the same sheet that I am?
Again, this. Oh, I said it before, but I was muted. I can see that my carry weight is astronomical now. I can see all the changes that you've made.
The carry weight should be 39 for you now.
Oh, it was up. It's like 83. Did you make a new copy then?
There should only be one copy in this folder. Just let me double check the folder.
Okay, here I'll close that. Google Sheets. So this is the player folder with reference material in it.
Right. And you see your thing. I should be the owner now. Last
Uh,
modified at 2:34 p.m.
owner read real MacGuffin. Yeah. Okay. I
Okay.
don't see the time, but that's okay. Open with Google Sheets. Google Sheets is opening. There we go. 39. There we go.
Perfect.
Ah. and sneak attack is all out. Oh boy, you moved everything out of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
just clean things up a little bit, so that only the relevant areas, relevant things are available to you, because you didn't really need those other ones. You've already accounted for them in your skills updates and stuff.
Yes,
So.
I kind of did that so that when you looked at it, I don't know, maybe you know the rules, at like the back of your hand now. I just figured, hey, I was able to, give some really good pluses and improve the character. So, just and it was for my benefit as well. So,
Okay, so if you want to fill in whatever you want after this, that's cool. I want just to show you the fact that if you type in the exact name of the feature as it appears in the PDF, in these fields, it will automatically update those panels to the right with a description.
okay.
That's kind of built into this sheet for you, which is a nice feature.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, feel free to mess around with them, whatever you want, as you
So
level.
I've got a hand cart.
A hand cart?
It says on cart item.
Right, that's going to be in the future. It's not, you don't have a cart right now. We're going to assume that it will be on the cart that Marigold and Goldie will provide in the future, but right now. So you don't have, for example, on you all your rations, your torches, your rope, your bedroll.
I figured, yes.
Those are back at your home or whatever. Otherwise, if you did carry all that stuff, then you would definitely be encumbered.
Yes, that was going to be my primary thing to deal with tonight. How to become unencumbered.
Yep. Vika, are you able to see your sheet okay with my updates? Yours was already pretty much perfect. I didn't really change much on yours. Yeah, I don't think I changed much at all.
The one edit that I'm seeing from you is you unchecked a box for leadership. Like, it's the smallest of things.
Oh, no. So if you check it, it should appear on the first field of lore. So if you go ahead and check that, it's the checking or unchecking of those items basically just is what determines what shows up in that panel in terms of a description. So that's all it does, really, the checking or unchecking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a way for you to look up what something means, for example.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
And
So
not the PDFs, but the spreadsheets that we have in Google Sheets are considered the officials, and then what we're using in Alchemy is like just kind of a rough reference.
yeah, it's a working copy, so to speak, so that you have it in game. So if you want to make the rolls in game, that'll be fine. But we're going to be referring to your Google Sheet as like the Bible for your character.
Okay.
Alrighty.
As the official record, as we would say.
Yes. So that's all I wanted to say. In terms of lines and veils, the only one I've received so far is no domestic abuse of any sort. If anything else comes up for either of you during this game or in the future, please feel free to just let me know, and I will add that to the list as well. One final thing I would like to emphasize for this particular campaign is to minimize the meta and try and stay in character as much as you can. Like if you have questions, ask them through your character. If it's obviously an above table type question, like mechanic wise or whatever, then feel free to ask. But otherwise, I encourage you to stay in character, because you'll get a lot more out of this game. This particular campaign, more so than others, I find. Anyway, that's the last thing I want to say. If you guys are ready, we'll dive right in.
I did have a question for you about that.
Sure.
Just for those out of character questions of, oh, well, would Marigold know this? Or is this something Marigold would have heard? I mean, are you okay with those
Yes, of course.
questions?
Of course. Of
Clarifications
course.
that you're- okay.
Yes. Yeah. Any question that you like honestly have for me as a lore master, then yeah, please feel free to ask me. But if you're more just pondering about what you should do in game, that's when I would encourage you to ponder them through your character. If that makes sense. All right. That's it. We'll get started. And when Goldie comes online, she'll be able to join us. All right. Here. Recording. We're good. All right. Here we go. All right. The midsummer sun is long dipped below the horizon, and a night's full moon casts a cool blue hue over the lush green fields of Buckland. The tranquility of the Brandywine's riverbanks is disturbed only by the gentle rustle of leaves and the occasional chirping of crickets. In this idyllic setting, just north of Hayes End, where the Withywindle meets the Brandywine, we find a hobbit. This particular hobbit reclines lazily on the soft grass by the river's edge, propped up by a makeshift bed of moss-covered stones. With a pipe in hand, he inhales deeply from the fragrant aromatic long-bottom leaf, filling the air with sweet, swirling smoke rings. Tarek, would you please describe your character? I'm not sure if you're on mute again.
Well, Tarek, also known as Turk, Puttyfoot, is a Stour hobbit, born on the 10th day of Winterfilth in Hayesend on the river, where I happen to be right now smoking my pipe. This is at the confluence of the Brandywine and Shireborn rivers, the south border of Buckland, near the Overbourne marshes. And I'm a smuggled runner of contraband through the swamps and up the various rivers and small waterways of the Shire, avoiding the excise tax agents. So I'm kind of a happy-go-lucky hobbit, and my familiar name is Turk. So my friends call me Turk, but you can call me Tarek. And I've got a gift for the gab, I've been heard, and I have an uncommon drinking ability, given this iron stomach that I've got right here. For a hobbit living on the fringe of society like I think I am, I can be loyal and trustworthy, desiring nothing more than a good time wandering these here rivers between various alehouses, where my contraband, in fact, is given good coin. So I have you know, I don't do anything evil. No. I just make sure people get good money for the items that they buy from further off. Well, I can partake in a lot of gossip, and I like to know this information in order to turn it to my benefit. And for now, I think that's enough to talk about myself. Oh, other than I'm a particularly hairy hobbit. For some reason, I'm a Stour hobbit. Maybe that's not too unusual, but I'm kind of tall, I'm kind of stout, and unfortunately, I live in the swampy areas, and I kind of smell like a swamp. So people tend not to pay much attention to me, and that's the way I like it. And that's Turk.
Well, Turk, as you lay on the grass, watching the river slowly drift by, your eyes are fixed upon its surface, for you await an arrival of a particular cargo that you've been eagerly expecting. Not 3 days ago, you had a conversation with one Agilbert Hornwood further upstream at the Oat Barton Brewery. After a bit of coin passed hands, and can you roll a d20 for me, please, at this time? First roll of the game.
First roll of the game. Let's see if I can actually do this. Here we go.
All right. Can you roll your persuasion for me, please?
Skills. I hope I did that. Okay, so I'm clicking on persuasion. Do I right click on it? Check view? No.
You have to click on check. And that'll roll the die.
There we go. I apologize.
That's
Oh,
performance. Persuasion, please.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a little better. Okay. Can you remove 8 silver pennies from your inventory, please? Because that's how much you had to pay this Agilbert Hornwood as a form of a bribe for him to accidentally knock one of the oak casks of Oat Barton Pale Ale into the Brandywine River. And it is this cask that you now await for its arrival further downstream. You twiddle your nimble fingers, adjusting your shirt and your little vest that smells quite earthy, but not unpleasant to you at least. Your keen senses alert for any signs of the precious barrel of ale that you have been promised. With a practiced eye, you scan the river for the telltale signs of your delivery. A barrel bobbing along the water's surface. However, as minutes stretch into hours, and the fading light makes it harder to spot, your expression slowly shifts from anticipation to concern. Can you please make a perception check for me, please, at disadvantage?
Yikes. Perception. So check. Oh. It doesn't actually.
So remember, when you roll, you hold the mouse button down when you click on check, and you drag down for disadvantage and up for advantage.
There, I rolled it twice, so there we go.
Okay. If you want to try a disadvantage now, go ahead. So just
Okay,
hold the
so-
check and drag down.
Hold the check and drag down. Just drag into view.
Really?
Here, let me check.
If drag the mouse button down, like with the cursor. Hold on. Let me see what's going on here. So if I go into skills,
Should it be
Perception.
indicating that it was rolled with advantage or disadvantage somehow?
yes, it will. I'm rolling disadvantage as you, and it'll have a little minus sign.
Oh, okay.
So when you click on perception, you'll see in the middle of your screen the check and the view. If you click and hold the check button, and then
or
drag
left? Right or left?
the check icon.
Yeah. Yes, but hold it with right or left mouse.
Oh, left. And then drag it down.
And
You
all I
should
do
see-
is it just goes down to view for me.
You have the left mouse button held down and you drag your mouse down.
Yes.
Does this work for you, Marigold? Like, are you able to roll skills at advantage, disadvantage?
I just put something up. It was persuasion. I did pull it down until it showed disadvantage and let it roll, but it doesn't look like it's indicating it was rolled with disadvantage. So
Odd.
But
Uh,
I am using customized actions, but it is popping up with the same indicators as if I were using skill checks because I have them all marked as skill checks.
right. Okay. Odd. Hmm. Are you both using the standalone app or using the browser?
Yeah, using the standalone.
Okay.
And I'm still on browser. I thought I would be a canary in a coal mine first.
Okay. Just so you know that there are more issues with the browser version than there are with standalone. So, in the meantime, not a big deal. We'll figure this out. I don't know. It's weird that it only works for me, but not you guys.
Jump
Uh,
doesn't.
I remember this working before.
yeah, that is odd. Okay. Well, we'll just continue, and if we have to roll twice, we'll roll twice. Not a big deal. All right. So, what was your roll? A 4.
Or
Okay. All right. So it is getting late on in the evening, and your concern grows with every passing minute. You begin to fidget until finally, well past what you expect when you expected the barrel to arrive, you see a shadowy shape floating down the river. It rides low in the water, clear indication that it holds your amber booty. You jump to your feet, grab a long pole beside you, but given this low light and your last minute perceiving of this barrel, you will be at disadvantage to try and fish this cargo out of the river now. Can you go ahead and make either an athletics or an acrobatics check? And again, it will be a disadvantage to try and get this bobbing barrel out of the river.
well, that's the low one. I don't know if it's going to get much lower than that.
All right. So, unfortunately, you poke and prod at this barrel, but it is too far out and you're not able to get any grip on it. And you just end up pushing it further downstream. What would you like to do at this point?
Well, I've got Turk's got some heavy investment in this. He knows he's got a client upriver for it. I'm going to have to try to follow it down. If I have to, I'm going to jump in the water. I'm going to jump in the water.
All right. You jump into the water. You go waist deep any further, and you'd have to start swimming, and you'll have
But
one more opportunity at this point to try
I
and
was
pull it
just
out.
I was just going to say I must be at least a little bit closer that I might get another opportunity.
Yes.
This is acrobatics again.
Yep. This will be a disadvantage still. Oh, that's a good roll. 15. That's good enough. Um, you chase the barrel a little bit downstream with your pole. Dive into the wade, like not dive necessarily, but wade waist deep afterward, and try and pull the barrel to shore. Your valiant efforts pay off, and through your pokes and prods, you're able to guide the stubborn barrel to the riverbank. And as you wade down the stream just a little ways to claim your prize, you see something in the moonlight.
Is it a
Washed,
shadow? Sorry.
washed
Oh,
up along the riverbank, nestled amidst the reeds and mud, lays a dark-haired woman. She is covered in a tattered, dirty cloak that conceals most of her features. However, a large gash on the back of her left thigh is easily visible even in its dim moonlight. It still oozes fresh blood, painting a crimson trail along the surface of the brandywine. Her slender, unconscious form stirs momentarily as she tries to pull herself upright, only to fall unconscious once more, like a fallen leaf caught in a slow eddy. What would you like to do?
I'm looking at her. Is she a human or what is she? A
She
tall folk?
is she is a tall folk, a man.
A man? Oh my! I thought you said a woman.
It is a woman, but of the men race, the culture.
Ah, humans.
You,
Human. So, um, I'm going to try to revive her.
okay. You approach cautiously, your eyes wide with a mixture of curiosity and worry. Thoughts begin to race through your mind. What brought her to these riverbanks and who had left her in such a dire state? As you approach, you see more wounds across her arm and her sides, slashes, deep. As
Was there a battle here? Was there a fight? Is the grass disturbed? Is there more blood spots about?
you go ahead and make a perception check again for me, please, or survival. Actually, there's no survival here, is there? It'll be an
Actually,
explore.
there is a survival at the bottom.
I don't think that there is in this. No, it's been replaced by a bunch of other things. So ignore the survival skill. It'll
Sure.
be explore. Explore or perception.
I think perception sounds a little bit more realistic.
Okay? And it'll be a disadvantage again. Because
Ah,
it is dim.
oh,
Pretty good roll. There are no obvious signs of struggle or fight, no other signs of blood other than what seems to be oozing out of her and downstream in the brandy wine. You are now almost standing over her.
are her clothes wet?
Her clothes are soaked.
Ah, I see. Well, young woman, are you awake?
There's no answer.
I'm going to check. I would Tarek know about a pulse?
You can go ahead and make a medicine check for me
I shall.
as you try and check the state of this woman's health. All right. You know well enough to try and check for a pulse. She is breathing shallowly. Her pulse is weak. Her complexion is quite pale. She has lost a lot of blood
And still losing blood.
and still losing blood.
What is the worst wound?
The gash on the back of her left thigh. An
Is it-
inch further, and it would have cut her out like the major artery.
I was just going to ask if it was pulsing out. Can my wonderful medicine roll help me to also fix her up a little bit, patch her wounds, bind her wounds?
Sure. What are you using to bind her wounds?
If I have to, I'll. Ooh, that's a good question. I don't think I have anything in my inventory. I'll have to. Does she have like a lot of extra clothes on, or should I tear my shirt up? You know, my shirt's not too clean. I don't think that would make a good bandage. Maybe she's got better. I'll have to quickly look, see if she's got a backpack to see if she has any better healing items on her than I do.
Go ahead and make an investigation check for me, please.
Wah wah wah.
Well, I mean, she is lying motionless in front of you, but from quick cursory look, without you really like poking and prodding her, she does not seem to be wearing any sort of backpack or pouch. You do see perhaps what looks to be an empty scabbard on her side and a small messenger bag kind of slung around her shoulder.
Oh my. I'll have to then tear some. Oh, if she has like a she has a cloak.
She does have a cloak. It is quite wet, but she does have a cloak.
I think that would make better bandages than my sweaty, swampy shirt. So I'll tear along the bottom edge of her cloak. I've got pull out my knife and just tear some bandages and start to bind her wounds up.
All right. I'll use your medicine check to apply those bindings. You do manage to staunch most of the blood flow, so she will not at least die of exsanguination. But she's still in a very bad state. And as you pull tight the tourniquet to stop the bleeding on her leg, I need you to roll for initiative.
Oh. Now, this is a new game. How do I do that? Actions?
I will just do this, and I will actually add your... You should be able to roll now. Okay, I'm just going to roll my die here in person. So you rolled 21. All right, you go first. You feel a sudden movement beneath you. She has become conscious, and she's reaching for a blade that was hidden under her corset. What would you like to do?
No, miss. No. And I'll just sort of steer her hand away. She should still be very weak. And I'll say, I'm here to help. I'm not your enemy.
All right. Can you make an athletics check to see if you can stop her from reaching her weapon?
Uh-oh.
That's okay.
This would be a contested athletics.
That is contested, and she rolled a 2. So you managed to stop her from being able to pull out what looks to be a very wicked-looking thin dagger. And she's fully awake now. Her eyes are opened wide, and which looks quite startling given her pale, almost ghost-like complexion. And with her free hand, she pulls you close to her face and hisses, "Who are you?"
I'm Turk. I'm just Turk. And while she's doing that, since I have won the contested athletics, while she's pulling me close, I'm going to do my best to try to make sure she does not have a weapon like that again. And I'm going to try to lift it very gently out of her belt and see if I can slip it in back of my belt.
Well, she's actually got a hold on it, a grip on it, so it would require another athletics check to try and disarm her.
Okay, I won't. I thought I had pushed her arm away. Okay, that's fine. I didn't understand. I'm Turk. I'm just Turk. I'm here to help you. I found you here. You're bleeding. You're bleeding out. I've tried to help you. I've bound your wounds. Can you feel that?
Can you make a persuasion check for me, please, with advantage?
Well, this is the truth. I'm not trying to... Did you say advantage?
Yep.
Oops. Oh.
Oh, boy.
What are the odds of that?
She looks straight into your eyes. Her glare is cold and hard as steel. And she pulls her dagger out. We're going to cut away now.
Dum, dum, dum.
Back to Buckland a little earlier that day, where we find the sun hanging low on the horizon, casting a warm amber glow across the emerald fields of Buckland. Here we find a young hobbit woman about to set out on perhaps what could be a grand adventure, her heart pounding in anticipation. She rides in a quaint horse-drawn cart, its wooden wheels creaking in rhythm with the gentle sway of the cart. Hold on one second, see if this works. Its wooden wheels creaking in rhythm with a gentle sway of the cart. The pony is a sturdy and dependable creature, whose name is it Ted? Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. Ted trots along the winding path that leads south to where the banks of the Brandywine meet Hayes End. Her bright green eyes sparkle. Are her eyes green? Sorry, I thought they were. Let me double check that. Didn't actually say. Well, her eyes sparkle with excitement as you clutch the reins with determination. Can you describe Marigold for us, please?
So Marigold is a little tall for a hobbit, thanks to her fallowhide heritage. That she's actually quite proud of her lineage, that she can call back to Bull Roarer Tuck. She is a little portly because she spends a little too much time um, lounging out in inn-houses around Buckland in the Shire, getting a little too many sweet cakes, a little too much ale and brandy, and she just kind of always is oozing with eagerness and excitement, hoping that any day now something grand and adventurous is going to happen. Which is why she's always has that twinkle in her eye, just expecting greatness. Um, she she generally smells like smoke, not just of pipeweed, but also wood smoke that her family uses to manage the many hives of bees they keep. And occasionally she'll have ash ash streaks on her heavy wearing clothes that she takes around her family's wares in Buckland, along with some other stains or spots where a dab of honey may have collected up some brush or just some schmutz, and always has that little spot that just cannot come clean perfectly. But um yeah, she generally and genuinely just has a good-natured smile on her face, and just tries to bring out the best in people when she's around them, and just tries to think of every day as that day that something grand could happen.
Well, this could be that very day. For not 3 days prior, your, shall we say, acquaintance, friend seems too strong a word in this case, Turk, offered you a business proposition. For he was expecting a very precious cargo which he intended on delivering to Bree, the prancing pony, and enlisted your help in that delivery. Now, this was fortuitous in terms of its timing, as your parents had a shipment of honey to be sent to Bree at the same time. And even more fortuitous for your, I believe, cousin, Goldie, had a shipment of tobacco to deliver to Bree. So combining your efforts, perhaps the three of you could have your own little adventure to Bree, where stories from strange men from faraway places, perhaps even the odd dwarf, and if you're lucky, even an elf, might be able to share their stories of a grand adventure, and perhaps you could find your own in the process. You have in your cart at the moment a various assortment of supplies and honey on your way to pick up Goldie, where she is to meet you somewhere in Buckland, I suppose, with her shipment of tobacco. Is there anything else that Marigold would be bringing with her on this 2-day journey each way to Bree.
She would definitely have a little box of sweet cakes, either from, what her mom may have made a day or so ago with, that honey drizzle, or something from, the a local inn maybe. Just anything sweet like that. She'd definitely have it secreted away and tucked away for herself. But, just um yeah, I think that's the only thing out of the extraordinary that she would have made sure to bring along.
Okay. The one thing, the one piece of cargo that has piqued your curiosity more than anything else is a strange little box that your father gave you without your mother seeing. He passed it to you secretly as you loaded the last bit of honey into your cart. And with a hushed voice, he leans in and says, "Take this to the dwarf, my dear, in town. It's a special delivery, something owed to him and his kin. Now I know you're a curious type, Marigold, and I trust that you do not open this box before it reaches its intended recipient. Do I have your word, Marigold?"
Oh, of course, Dad. Um, what is it?
It is none of your concern, Marigold, and it's best that it remain that way. It is for the dwarf and the dwarf only.
All right. So the dwarf and Bree.
Yes, he is the mason in town. He's the only dwarf in Bree that I'm aware of, and the only dwarf mason at that. So it should not be too hard to find him. And I do understand that he does like drink, so you're likely to find him at the Prancing Pony.
Okay, I'll look for the dwarf with the prancing pony and give him the box. And I won't open it. I promise.
That's my girl. And he leans in and gives you a kiss on the top of your head as he embraces you. And says, "Now you be safe. You hear?"
Oh, of course, Goldie's coming with, so she'll keep me on the straight and narrow for you.
That's good. And that Turk fellow's not going to be anywhere near the cart, is he?
No, no, no. We just have to head down south to get the Gwendemere tobacco, I think. It's Gwendemere, I'm sure. Yeah, the Gwendemere tobacco.
That's
And just load
curious.
up.
I've never heard of that tobacco. Is that a new leaf, a new strain?
I don't really know what they grow.
Perhaps you should bring a sample back with you. I'd like to try this pipe weed.
All right. I'm sure I can ask Goldie for some for you.
Oh, thank you. And thank your parents for such a gift. It would be most kind of them for me to sample their new strain of tobacco. That'd be
Of course.
quite amazing. I'd be the talk of the town if it's any good. But please do be safe and stay away from that Turk boy. He's bad news.
Of course, Dad. And we should be back in 2 days or so. So it's
Uh,
not too long to Bree and back. And while I'm there, I'll make sure that the Mason gets his box.
That's a good girl. Stay to the main road. No straying, no dilly-dallying.
Okay.
And don't talk to strange men.
Okay. I'll be sure not to.
With that, he closes up the back of the cart and latches it shut. Walks up to Ted, makes sure helps you climb up onto the driver's seat.
Mm.
Gives you a wink and a slap on the bum for Ted to get you going. Says, "Come back safe."
Of course. Give Mom my love, and I'll see you again in a day or two.
When you say that, you see your mother running out of the hobbit hole that you live in, that you grew up in, chasing after you. Marigold, wait. And she's holding a little bundle of what looks to be something wrapped in a small tea towel for you. She says, "I just made this morning. It's the apple spice cake for the road."
Oh, I'll scamper down off the bench, the driver's bench, and go give her a big hug. Give her a big kiss on the cheek and tell her thank you, and just very graciously and appreciatively take the tea towel with both hands.
Now, you make
And say,
sure Goldie gets a piece of that now.
"Oh yeah, I'll make sure to share."
That's a good girl. And you can see quite plainly on her face the worry. This is the first time you have been sent to Bree effectively on your own. Typically in the past, you have made trips to Bree, but either in company with your father or other people who work for your father.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the first time you're going alone, so to speak. And you can
Mom,
see.
don't worry. I'll be back in 2 days, maybe 3.
Oh,
We're just going to Bree. It's right up the road. You know where we'll be, and you know we'll be back for you.
you can see her choking back the tears. Yes, of course, you're all grown up now. I'm so proud of you. And she just gives you another big hug.
Oh.
You clamber back up onto your cart, give it a little, and get Ted going again. And you look back behind you briefly, and you see both your parents standing at the edge of the road, waving.
I'll give them a happy, merry wave back. And, until the bend in the road or a hillock or something takes them out of view, I'll glance back every few moments and just kind of hold on to myself the idea that I'm really on my own and I don't have someone else watching out after me, or watching out over me, rather. So it's super exciting.
With the last,
just giddy and bubbling over and probably humming with that just vibration of just overfilled with excitement.
excellent. So with the last glance over your shoulder back at your parents, you see your father beaming with pride and your mother sobbing uncontrollably into his shoulder. You make the bend, and we're a little early because you're supposed to pick Goldie up. But perhaps you can pick Goldie up after you rendezvous with the rascal you are not supposed to rendezvous with, Turk.
Well, yeah.
And you'll pick Goldie up on the way back.
Promise wouldn't be immediately broken. Yeah, so I will be heading south by to I forget the crossing. It's the crossing.
It's
at,
just north of Hayes End.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, so you make your way down there at the rendezvous point, and it's now well past sunset. Bring you back here. And you find yourselves on the banks of the Brandywine River.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the sketch of a map that Turk had given you 3 days prior when the X marks the spot where you were supposed to rendezvous, where the river was narrowest. no obvious sign from him as you sit up on the cart.
Okay. And so, just one thing I wanted to do before we got all the way down here, because it's a trip of ours.
Yep.
I wanted to make sure that the box for the mason
Mhm.
is tucked away and nice and secure under some other things, so I know it's not going to go bobbing out or get lost or anything like that.
Okay. You
And I just want to
ensure.
make sure it is secured properly and not in any way, because this is a big deal. Like I can sweep meeting up with Turk under the rug, but losing something for an old customer or something that's owed like that to my father, there's no getting past that. So need to make sure that stays safe.
All right.
Stopping at that vantage point, I would, even stand up on the bench, taking a look around, see if there's anywhere I might spy where Turk could be tucked up, or, maybe a trace of him in me.
Go ahead and make that perception check for me, please.
All
It'll
right,
be
we'll
at
do.
disadvantage because it is dim light now.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's see if we can get this to work. Dragging to modify and
Yeah.
disadvantage. Did it
0.
work?
Yes. 0. How did you manage that? Oh my gosh. Wow.
She's impulsive, so she kind of has penalties to her wisdom.
Okay. So you pull Ted up to a halt, and you stand on, I don't know what they call it, buckboard or something, just to get a better vantage point along up and down the riverbank. However, at this point, the riverbank is quite steep. And although you have a view of the river, you cannot see the bank itself, and there's no obvious sign of Turk.
I guess that means I'm gonna have to climb down and, beat the bushes myself a little bit just to, see if there's any spot maybe. Like he's probably hidden up in some bush or something so that none of the marshals see him. Yeah, that makes sense. That's obviously where he'd be. He'd be in hiding in a bush. But yeah, I'll go take a look, try to get a little closer to the bank and see if there's any signs of, this rascal.
All right. So you dismount, and you put the brake on the cart so it doesn't go
Yes,
rolling
sure.
off. You make your way down to the riverbank and look up and down. Can you make another perception test for me, please, with disadvantage?
All right. Let's see.
Oh,
if that
nice. Much
works.
better. All right. You scramble your way down and you find yourself almost ankle deep now in the muddy edges of this river. Scanning first upstream and then downstream. That's when you hear splashing noise and little hooray. And you see a shadowy figure. Could be Turk. Maybe about 5 feet out into the river, with a pole poking at something.
Oh, Turk! What are you doing? You're supposed to be on the or on the bank.
Doesn't seem to hear you. And in fact, in that moment, he manages to get a hold on the barrel and kind of scoop it towards the bank. And you see him kind of disappear around a corner briefly.
Oh no. Um, does the road travel close enough to the contour of the river where I could take the cart around the corner, or would it be actually staying further away if I didn't go on foot?
You would be, this is probably the best and only place you have access to the river.
Okay.
So you could not, I mean, you could move the cart horse a little closer, but you still have to come back to this point to get down to the riverbank.
Gotcha. Okay, well, yeah, I'll just take a little jog to keep up with him and holler after him in my loudest whisper. Turk! Stop playing at things. Come on, get out of the river.
Well, as you turn the bend, you see Turk hunched over a still figure, applying bandages to what looks to be a woman lying unconscious. When she suddenly comes alert and awake, and you see her brandishing a small dagger, and Turk
Oh no.
standing above her. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna run up to my acquaintance Turk and try to at least pull him back a minute or back a bit from this woman or this person, and make sure he's safe and that this is why Father tells me no.
All right, Turk. You hear first this little splashing behind you, footsteps. At the moment, she brandishes this dagger in your face, and then someone trying to pull you back away from her. What would you like to do?
Turk, what are you? No, what's going on?
Turk has. I don't know. She was here. She was bleeding. I'm trying to help her. Now she thinks I'm robbing her, I think.
You're not trying to rob this woman, right? No,
No, no, lady, I'm not trying to rob you. Please.
you were.
I'll let myself be pulled back.
Okay.
You
As you're
said she's trying to get up.
No, she's not up yet. She's still kind of lying down. She's just trying to pull,
Oh,
like prop herself up on her elbows almost and pull
I
her
see.
dagger out.
Okay.
But as you retreat or pulled away, Turk, she slumps back down, and with that last effort, it seemed as though the last bit of her strength has been sapped. Her dagger falls with a clatter to the wooden raft beside her, and she just falls unconscious again.
Oh my gosh, Turk, what did you do?
I didn't do anything. I was the barrel. I was in the water getting the barrel of mail, and she's here and she's bleeding. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what to do.
Is she Andrew? Is she still partly in the water?
She is half in the water, yes.
Oh, let's at least drag her out. Come on.
I'm going to pick up
I'll
that dagger
get
so
one
she
arm
can't.
and you get the other.
I'm going to pick up that dagger though, so that she can't use it on any of us.
I mean, if she might as well be dead. I don't think she's gonna cut a thing.
Well, she almost poked me with that dagger. I'm not going to let her do that again. I'm going to pick that dagger up and I'm going to put it in my belt.
Okay, you pick the dagger up.
I do.
It is, as you pick it up, you do notice it is not like any hunting or paring knife that you've ever seen before. This is a blade meant for battle.
And you said it's a curved blade?
It's actually more like a stiletto almost.
Oh my. Would Turk must know what a stiletto is.
Not necessarily. You might have heard about it in stories, but you probably would never have seen one in your life.
Oh my. She's not a very nice person, I don't think. Marigold, what should we do?
Let's at least get her out of the water, mate. Oh. Oh no. What did you say there was a raft next to her?
Yes, she was actually on what looks to be like a raft that's half submerged, kind of washed up on shore here. And you
Oh
see
my gosh,
beside
she
it,
must have floated down on that.
yeah, you see beside it what looks to be a barrel, just kind of washed up beside it.
Oh, that's my barrel, by the way. That's what you're here for with your cart. We've got to get that up to Bree. We got to get it up to Bree tonight.
Okay. So we're gonna have to get her. The
Let's
raft is
get her
half
out of the water.
submerged.
Yeah, let's get her out of the water.
Yeah, let's get her out.
All right. You pull her out and up the bank a short ways. At this point, the bank is quite steep, so there's not much room aside after the raft. But you managed to get her at least out of the water.
Okay. Does it look like her weight is what was keeping the raft half submerged, or does it look like it's damaged?
It looks like it's been damaged. There's clear indications that there are scorch marks on it, and you can tell actually from this point, since you are like right there, you see shafts of arrows sticking out of it as well.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, arrows. Is it? And
She was in a
is is I'm looking. Turk's looking. Is it a raft or is it part of a ship?
It looks like it was a raft.
Huh. And what color are the arrows?
The feathers are black.
Oh, I've heard of this. I think I've heard of this.
Go ahead and make a hunting check for me, please. See if you can recognize.
Bum, 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 bum. So I'm on skills. I see history. I don't see hunting.
It's a new Lord of the Rings skill. So it'll be under your actions. You should see hunting there.
Right click. Use.
Yep.
Whoa.
All right. So you have seen normal hunting arrows in the past, and they're quite simple, made of thin shafts of wood, typically lighter weight, and typically adorned with either like chicken or other types of bird feathers that are quite common. These are nothing like that. The shafts are made of some strange black wood. The feathers are more like crow or raven like.
Marigold, tend to her wounds better than I can. I'm going to try to get some of these arrows out. I want to at least get one out whole. We need to show this to somebody I know.
Oh, okay. I've got some handkerchiefs back in the cart. It's just
Hurry.
up the ways.
Hurry.
Yeah.
I'll be right
So
here.
I'll go running back up
Okay.
with.
Oh,
Is the embankment from where Turk and I are supposed to meet, is that the best access point here, or could I take the road down a bit to be able to get Turk, the barrel, and maybe even this woman if she's alive, at a better access point?
No, in terms of ease of access, the way you came down is the only way. It's the best way.
Okay.
Sorry. If you want to, you
Gotcha.
can try to rig up some like harness or something to try and pull things up the bank from a little closer, but that's up to you. Which way
Yeah,
you'd like to go.
no, that's fine. Yeah, so I'll run back to the cart. I'll grab, like I said, some kerchiefs out of my bag and a good shank of rope and go scampering back to Turk while he's trying to fish out some arrows, it sounded like, right?
Yep.
what Turk's going to do first, though, because he just thought about this, that it might be a good idea to make sure she doesn't have any other weapons that are handy. And I'll just have a quick look. And in fact, it's kind of, I think this knife might be really sharp. Maybe I better put it in its scabbard, but keep the scabbard in the small of my back. my belt?
The scabbard that is at her side is meant for a larger weapon, not the stiletto.
Hmm. And it won't work in this regard, or
No, it would just fall right out.
okay. Does she have other weapons on her?
Go ahead and make another investigation check with advantage, please.
Okay. Investigation.
All right, very good. So you give her a quick search, rummaging through her like cloak to see if there's any other hidden weapons. There are none. You do find that messenger bag, if you want to do something with that. But aside from that, she really doesn't have much else. She wears the belt around her waist. Beneath her cloak, she is wearing what looks to be some sort of like leather armor, quite well fashioned. Nothing like you've seen before. And even the gold trim on her cloak would seem to indicate that she is someone important.
Okay. I'll try to I'll roll up her cloak and put it under her head so that she's comfortable.
Okay.
And I'll go and while cousin is going off to the cart, I'm going to try to pry some of those arrows out of the raft.
All right. Do you have any woodworking proficiency or anything like that?
I have a carpenter's tools.
All right. So you can use your tools to try and wedge some of these things out. Go ahead and make a, let's just say, a dexterity check for me, please. And then we'll add your proficiency of +2 to that.
Okay, so right click on Dex and check.
Yep. Oh, that's what you're doing. That's why you're not seeing this. Okay, I understand now. So there's two ways in which you can roll your skills. You can right click right on it, or if you just click on it, let's say, let's go back to perception, for example, just click on it with your left mouse button. Now, do you see something in the middle of bottom of your screen above the white X?
Yes.
Check and view.
Yes.
So if you left mouse button on the check and drag that up or down, you should be able to roll with advantage.
Yeah.
There you go.
I see. I remember now.
There you go. Okay. There you go. All right. Figure that out. Okay. So with your dexterity, you're easily able to pull out 2 arrows. Now, looking at the heads of these arrows, they are finely crafted. You can tell that as well. Metal, razor sharp.
Yikes. Oh, did Turk mention that he took the messenger bag?
No, you did not mention that.
Oh, hey, yes, yes. Actually, is there any room in the messenger bag for these arrows?
No, there is not. The arrows shafts are too long to fit in this bag.
Okay.
One thing I will say though, as you reach for the messenger bag and try and pull it over her head to take it, she regains consciousness again, but she's too weak to resist. And all she does is open her eyes halfway and say 2 words in a very low, hoarse whisper, very barely audible. She says, "Bree, Imladris." And then she falls unconscious again.
Did I hear her correct? Did she say Bree Imaldris?
I'll say at this point in time, Marigold, you have just returned. And I'll have you make a perception check with disadvantage to see if you heard what she said.
All right. What? It's not letting me select my perception. Oh, there it goes. The app just slowed down a little bit, it looks like.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. All right. Nope. Not a clue. Sorry. Too focused on not trying to slip in this muddy bank. And I just want to say, hello, Goldie.
Yay! Goldie's here.
Hello.
Hey, we'll get to you in just 1 second. We're just going to finish this scene, and then we'll get to you. So, what would you two like to do?
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna toss the shank of rope down into the grass near her, and fall to my knees and start anything where it looks like there's blood. I'm just gonna start wrapping up with those hankies I have, and I am gonna rattle off a plan at Turk. Okay, Turk. So what we're gonna do? We need to get her back on the raft, and then you can stand on side of the raft, haul it. I can use the rope and pull from the bank, and we can drag her on the raft and your barrel back up to the cart because we have to get her. We have to get off the riverbank.
Oh, that sounds like it might work. I think it'll work.
I mean, because it's still floating enough, right? And then you can
Yes.
just kind of push and poke your barrel, right? Or does
Yes,
it have to be on the cart or on the raft too?
I've got this stick, so yes, I think we can make it work. So let's pick her up. Let's put her on the raft, and the barrel goes on the raft, and let's move it down towards the cart.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to have you make one more perception check for me, please, Marigold.
Okay. Disadvantage still?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I am not meant to be perceptive.
Cousin, you're making enough noise. Don't you have a? Do you have a lantern or something on the cart?
I think there's torches we can post up on the sides.
One question for you, Turk. Where did you put the messenger bag?
I probably put it over my neck
Okay.
just to keep it safe
Good answer.
and secret, maybe under my cloak.
Under your cloak, because it is quite large. It is like almost a foot long, maybe about 3/4 of a foot high, which is for a hobbit almost a third your size. So I'm going to have you make like a sleight of hand check to see how well you can seal it.
I can do that. So click on that. Click on check, drag to modify, advantage, as you say.
No advantage. Just
No,
straight roll.
just-
Straight roll.
Oh, okay. So how can I do this now? Now how can I take it off?
Oh no, you just roll it back in the middle. Wow, natural 20.
Oh,
Nicely done. All right, so you managed to tuck it away underneath your cloak. Its bulk somehow disguised amongst your own. Perhaps you had
my own bulk.
perhaps you had a little extra second dinner or something.
Thanks, lore master.
All right, so you managed to get her and the barrel onto the raft. You pushed the raft off into the water. You have your long pole still. You can use that to try and guide the raft as Marigold pulls on the rope to get you back upstream a little bit. I'm going to have Marigold, you make an athletics check, and Turk, you have watercraft skill proficiency,
Yes.
don't you? You
Yes.
do. Okay, so I'm going to have you make an athletics check too with advantage.
Is it
All
bad?
right.
That's pretty good.
All right, no, that's okay.
We're not
It's
doing
a
rocket science here.
it's a little. It's like it's going upstream is one thing. trying to manage the weight of this raft plus this woman plus a keg full of ale is another. But after a fair bit of struggle, it takes you maybe about a little longer than you anticipated, maybe about a good 20 minutes before you manage to bring the raft far enough upstream to get to that point of egress back to your cart.
All right. Well,
Whew.
yeah. Good thing you have the pole. So
Yeah.
let's set your barrel somewhere so it doesn't go bobbing away. And do you think we don't need to take the raft? So as soon as we get her off of it, I can just go.
What are we going to do with her? You want to leave her here?
No, we can put her in the back of the wagon.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't understand that. Okay, let's do that right now.
We can put her in and then put in your barrel, and I don't know.
Is there enough room for both?
Well, she's a long shank. She's got to be. I don't.
What are we going
I
to
don't know
do?
if
What are we
even
going
bother.
to do with her? What are we going to do with her?
We can't just let her die on the riverbank.
Oh my goodness! What are you getting me into, cousin?
You. How is this my fault?
I'm scared. I don't know what to do. Should we take her up to Bree? Maybe we should take her up to Bree.
I mean, if we bandage her and hopefully she'll hold on.
Yes,
Maybe.
but look, did you not see the pig stickers that she had with her?
What? No. You
Oh
told
my-
me she tried to pull a knife on you. Now there's a pig sticker involved.
No, this one, and he pulls it out from his rope belt. And he said,
Oh
This
my
is-
gosh,
this
that's
is-
a sword.
"No, it's not. No, it's not. It's a pig. They call these pig stickers. You can sneak up behind a pig and stick at the pig. It's a murder weapon.
So she's a murderer.
I don't know. Why would she be carrying something like that?
I don't know. Where can we leave her?
Who do we know that we could maybe take her to? Your father?
No, we can't. No, he would see you.
No, I'll hide. I won't be there. You could just say that you found her on the road.
Soaking wet.
In a ditch. She was attacked and rolled into a ditch. I don't know. Where's your other cousin? She's the brains.
Let's at least get her up onto the cart.
Okay, yes. Too
Let's
much
figure it
arguing.
out. Maybe Goldie has an idea.
Yeah,
we
okay.
should go get Goldie after we get the cart loaded, and then Goldie will know what to do.
Sorry, I had some swamp water down my throat.
Goldie will have to know what to do.
Well, she better. She's the brains of this bunch.
Passing responsibility. Yes.
Okay, so can we get her into the carts, and is there
All
enough
right.
room in the cart for her in the barrel?
It'll be crowded. Let's just say that. And there's no real way to, unless I guess you could try and like, throw a blanket over her, but it'll be crowded back there for sure.
Okay.
We should cover her up.
I can unpack a trail blanket I have. It's pretty sure it's listed there for me.
Mhm.
So yeah, I can sacrifice my comfy, cozy, hand knit trail blanket. That'll get blood stains and river water and muck on it. That'll be great.
Oh, come on, cousin.
But yeah, I'll rummage out the blanket after we get her up into the cart, and I'll cover her up.
Okay, I'm going to need your help to get this barrel into the back. I can't lift it up that high.
Okay.
All right. So
Um,
I'm going to make you to roll another couple of athletics checks.
sure.
One is to drag this woman up. So let's do that one up first. Let's see how
Oh,
long it takes you to do this.
come on, load. There it goes.
Nicely done. All right. So first attempt, I guess with the help of rope, it's like tucked under her arms or something, looped around her. You managed to drag her up and pull her up without a problem. She is like filthy, full of water and mud, and blood and bandages. But she's up there now at the side of the road. And using your little harness thing, you managed to pull her up into the back of the cart.
Okay.
That's one done. Let's see how long it takes you to get this barrel up. Now, the barrel is a little more difficult because you can't really put a harness around it very easily.
Oh, we can make a ramp. We can get use the pole and we can roll it up the pole. It's called a lever.
Pole is pretty thin. Okay, you can try and lever it up though with the pole.
Okay.
Go ahead and make your athletics checks.
Please, oh please, oh please.
All right, that's good enough too. Luckily,
All
there's some precarious moments as you roll this barrel up where you think it's going to slip and fall right back down into the river, but after a few grunts and heaves, you manage to get it up to the side of the road and manage to winch it up into the back of the cart with this lady. Now, all of this has taken you the better part of an hour. So it is probably closer to midnight at this point, well past the time you are supposed to rendezvous with Goldie.
Okay. I'll tell Turk. Turk, you got to stay in the back of the wagon, just to make sure everything doesn't bounce around or nothing like that.
Well, see,
And-
this is where we can take rope and we can tie it across the back of it.
You're not supposed to be riding in the cart to be seen either.
Oh.
That was the other part of that.
Okay.
Marigold will tap herself on the nose conspiratorially. And that way you can tuck under the blanket in case any of the road wardens come through.
Yes. Okay, I'll do that. How are you going to explain having a keg of beer?
We'll cross that bridge when we get there, and hopefully we don't get there.
Okay.
We just need to get out of we need to get out of Buckland.
We
All
need
right.
to pick up your cousin.
Well,
You are at the very south end of Buckland, near Hayes End, and you were supposed to rendezvous with Goldie up near Buckland Bridge, like far other opposite end of Buckland, which is along the Great East-West Road to Bree. So it will take you another couple of hours to get up there at the very least.
Yeah. Gosh. I'm not a drover. I'm not like Ted just goes.
So as long as you're not like trying to do some, as long as you're not supposed to, and as long as you're not trying to drive Ted or do some wonky maneuvers, you can go along at a steady pace. But if you want to rush Ted, I'm going to have you make some checks.
Bandy, what do you think? Worth making the checks with my terrible animal handling, or just kind of let's move at a steady pace?
Who's Bandy?
You know what I mean. I'm trying to get your opinion here, sir.
Yes. I think we.
Okay, yeah. I'm leaning towards trying to rush Ted a little north. Just prod him a little bit. See if we can get him to pull a little bit harder, a little bit faster, and get us there quicker.
All right. Go ahead and make your animal handling check for me, please.
Oh my god, it's terrible.
Better you than me.
Oh shit.
Oh, Oh no!
Okay.
Barrel fall off.
Yeah, I'm going to be making some checks here. So you give Chet a little bit of a and maybe a little slap with a little piece of grass or something just to get him going.
Yeah, like a little pain. Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ted's not used to this kind of type of behavior, so he bolts. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, Turk, as you're in the
No.
back of the cart.
Okay. Oh, Jeezy Pete's. So I can see I can do a raw dex check. How do we queue up a saving throw?
Oh, it's only Turk that needs to make this saving throw. You're going to be
okay.
fine in this seat. Just a matter of whether or not he falls out the back. No, Turk, you managed to be just fine. I just have to make some checks for your cargo.
Is that adding my bonus to it? Because I don't really see. It's just rolling a number rather than.
If you click on it, you'll see what it did. You rolled a 10 and you got +3 to your dex.
Okay.
But it's not adding as proficiency.
On saving throws, you don't get proficiency.
If you're proficient in them, you do.
If you're proficient in that thing, then yes, you should be. Are you proficient in dex saves?
Yes, I am.
Okay, then
that's part of. I get to choose that. I think as.
Oh, that's because you rolled an ability check and not a saving throw.
Oh. Okay, so here, let me check. Check and save. I see. Did I make that anyways or not?
Yeah, we'll keep that roll and say you made it. You're fine. All right. Okay, so the barrel doesn't fall out. Your unconscious passenger does not fall out. I need you to make a perception check for me, Turk.
Regular?
A regular perception check, yeah. All right. And this little bit of jostling as Ted bolts and the entire contents of the back of the cart kind of shift suddenly. As you hang on for dear life, you see something interesting. You see a shiny little box tucked away securely underneath a bunch of other things.
Shiny.
Damn it.
It's a shiny. Cousin, you got a shiny back here. What are you doing with that shiny box?
Leave that be. That's not for you.
Oh, okay.
I'm to take it to a man in Bree.
Oh, wow. What for?
I don't know. I'm just supposed to give it to a man in Bree. My dad said so.
Your dad said that?
Yes. I'm supposed to meet up the Mason in Bree and give him this.
Oh, the Mason. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's a dwarf.
As you sit in the back of this cart, constantly eyeing this beautifully ornate, shiny little box beside you, I'm going to switch scenes a little bit for a second and bring us back to Buckland. Earlier that evening, we find Goldie at the end of the Brandywine Bridge, waiting for her good friend and cousin Marigold to pick her up on their way to Bree. Marigold is supposed to bring a shipment of honey to the Prancing Pony, and you were tasked to bring a shipment of tobacco as well. This is the first time your parents have entrusted you with this journey alone. You've been to Bree before, but always accompanied either by a family member or a worker who was responsible for the shipment. But this is the first time you are going by yourself. Now, it's not a large shipment. It fits within a large backpack, but it's enough to make a good profit from. And your family, as they are from the South Farthing, could bring you only as far as the Brandywine Bridge, where they left you at the side of the road to wait for your friend to pick you up. It is approaching dusk and evening, and still no sign of your friend and cousin. Can you describe to us what Goldie looks like and how she's passing the time here?
Sure. So Goldie's probably gonna find a comfy little corner, not too in the middle. Probably find a little tree and like be as unseen as possible without actually having to hide. Just little hobbit, um, looking at the water and dreaming, and so proud. Not showing it because we're not gonna show that, but so proud that for the first time, um, been entrusted to do this journey by myself. And she's like always just wearing lots of colors. Um, she's making herself a little flower crown and recounting all the stories that she's heard before about Bree and dreaming about everything that she's gonna do once she gets there. This is the first step to something bigger. She knows. It's just making a little flower crown, having the little backpack just real close, and just well, I sure hope she gets here soon because it's gonna be supper time. Probably gonna have a snack soon.
Well,
Get
as
away.
it was actually your father who dropped you off,
Uh-huh.
and one of your older brothers. The older brother couldn't care less. He seemed more interested in getting back home. But when your father dropped you off, he pulled you aside for a moment and said, "Now, Goldie, this will be your first trip on your own. To Bree, you must behave yourself
Mm-hmm.
and make sure you get a good price. This is the finest long bottom from the Shire. Don't let that bartender at the Prancing Pony swindle you for anything less than it's worth."
Never. I know what I have to do. I'm ready.
He gives you a wink and says, "I have every utmost confidence in you, my girl. You're ready for this." And he just kind of looks at your older brother with a kind of disappointed look and gives a little bit of a sigh and says, "I only wish one of your brothers could do this instead, but I need them around the farm. It's weeding time, and I need all hands, capable hands to do this. And you've been hankering to get out of the Shire and have a little bit of adventure of your own. I could see that ache."
I do it. I do it, Father. Don't worry.
You're the most responsible one of the bunch. So I have every confidence that you'll do good. Just be safe and make sure that Marigold doesn't speed. I don't know how well her driving skills are on that cart, but it's just the two of you girls.
Yep, we're responsible.
Okay. Here, take this. And he pulls out of the back of his cart a bundle with some food. Says, "Your mother insisted that I give this to you. I know it's only a few days' trip, but she wanted to make sure that you ate well. She does not trust the food of the menfolk in Bree."
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I'm sure we'll get hungry on the road because we're not gonna speak. We're not gonna get there fast, and it's always nice to stop next to the river and just have a little snack. Thank you, Father.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
but keep your eye open. I mean, the Shire is one thing, Buckland another, but beyond the borders of Buckland, strange men sometimes walk these roads. So be careful.
Told me.
Yes.
I will.
You can see he's kind of awkward and kind of kicking at the dirt a bit, kind of stumbling for words. But so you be back in a hurry then, right?
Yes. We'll be safe.
And
We'll.
be sure to get a good price for that weed.
I will.
Oh.
Whoops.
Okay.
Hmm.
And you
No,
can
go
see, you see he's searching for words and kind of just trying to find any excuse just to linger just a little longer. But as you say, go on, Father, he says, okay, and just gives you a quick hug and a kiss on the cheek and gets back into his cart. Gives his pony a little, yeah, and they trundle off back over the bridge to leave you. He doesn't even turn to say goodbye.
Like just do a little dance.
All right. So as you sit at the end of the bridge, and you see this bridge has a fair amount of traffic, as it is the only method of crossing the Brandywine River for quite a while in any direction. So it sees a lot of traffic between the Shire and Buckland. You see a few hobbits kind of giving a curious look as they pass, but none really stop to mention anything. The sun has set. Your stomach begins to growl.
Oh. I don't think I would get there. I would probably eat all the food. Just.
Right? You open up the package that your mother gave you. And inside you find an assortment of small, like meat pies, fruit, biscuits, a nice little picnic basket. Enough, perhaps, for a second dinner. And as you... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'll just nibble and look.
Okay. As you sit there nibbling on your dinner, the sun setting and the full moon starting to rise along the horizon, you see a woman approaching you, a female hobbit, wearing a long brown coat and a walking stick, and you recognize the badge on her cloak as a sheriff. She spots you along the side of the road and walks up to you and says, "Howdy, miss, and a good evening to you."
Good evening. Good evening.
It's a fine evening we have here, isn't it?
It is. I just waiting for my friend. I found this little spot. It's a very nice way to spend the afternoon, I think.
Well, it's well past afternoon now, and I dare say night will be upon us anytime soon. I do hope your friend will arrive soon.
Yeah, she's coming with I do know she's coming with a pony, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that she just had to stop and make sure that everything was fine on the pony and just getting some dinner, like with you. I think I have some pies left if you'd like a little nibble yourself.
I don't mind if I do. And she props her little walking stick up against a tree and sits down beside you and enjoys your little dinner with you as you both sit out there looking at the slow-moving river passing by. An hour passes. It's well into night now, probably around 9 o'clock, and still no sign of your friend. And the sheriff turns to you and says, "Now you're sure your friend was coming tonight?"
Yes, positively sure.
And where are you headed, may I ask?
Oh, I'm heading to Bree. I'm working for my father.
Bree? She looks up at the sky and where the sun is long. You're leaving at this time of night for Bree?
We're probably going to camp along the road.
Oh. Wouldn't it be better to leave in the morning?
You would have, huh? I am a little concerned now that we're talking about it. I really don't want to keep you from your duties.
Who is your friend?
Marigold, my cousin.
Marigold.
You don't know
Marigold?
that.
Marigold who? It's a very common name in these parts.
Yes, it is. Banks,
Banks.
cousins.
Marigold Banks. I don't know her. But I'll put a word out with the other sheriffs.
Oh,
Let's
you
see.
needn't.
No, I'm concerned now. Your friend should have been here long ago.
Hold on. Oh, no.
Well, she gets herself up off the ground, picks up her walking stick, and wipes the dirt and grass off of her. And he says, "Well, you have yourself a safe evening, Miss. Oh, I never even got your name.
Goldie from the Glendelware farm. May I have your
Goldie.
name? And we'll for sure leave soon. She's probably here. If it gets too late, I'll come and say, if you let me know where you are, I'll come and ask for your help. You really don't need troubling anyone.
Oh, of course. My name is Daisy Proudfoot. But I'll be sure if I cross any other sheriffs or bounders who patrol these areas, I'll make sure they put a word out for your friend Marigold. It is quite concerning. She should not be out at this time of night, and let alone make out for Bree tonight. And where was she coming from? She's coming from Buckland, I imagine.
Yes? I don't know.
I'll make my way down to Brandy Hall the evening and inquire along the way to see if anyone has seen her.
Yeah.
But I do suggest that you find some shelter for yourself before it gets too much later.
I will do that. Wait, how long ago were we supposed to meet?
About now, probably.
Oh, so it's not that late.
No.
Yeah. But again, this has happened before. We meet, we get trouble, we sit down and have dinner. It's not that strange, especially when she brings Ted. Ted is kind of hard-headed. They're both kind of are. So probably they stop to have dinner, and second dinner, and third dinner. So if you see someone, just ask. But you really don't need troubling.
Oh, it's no trouble at all, dear. No, I'm just concerned for your safety and Marigold's now, too. I best be on my way. I have a few more places to visit along my patrol.
Yes, please.
But I'll have someone check on you later tonight. And if you're still here, I will insist that you find yourself an inn, at least, to stay in for the night.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good evening to you, Goldie. And I hope everything turns out for the best.
Thank you very much. I hope to see you during the day, and maybe you can enjoy we can enjoy dinner again together.
I would very much like that. And with that, she does a quick bow of the head to you and a small little curtsy, and then makes her way south along the main road towards Brandy Hall. The hours continue to pass, and still no sign of Marigold. The foot
So
traffic and... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, after 30 minutes, I do know which way she's supposed to come from.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make my little way, like, slowly, not
Okay.
not too far away, just a little bit.
Okay.
Just look busy.
All right. So you make your way south along the same road that the sheriff had traveled, because it's the same direction.
Yeah, not going that fast. Just
Okay.
very slowly, looking busy, picking more flowers.
Okay. Well, which is kind of odd at this time that many of the flowers have closed for the night, because it is now 10, 11 o'clock now, as you make your way south along the Buckland Road. How much further do you want to go? Because how late do you want to travel south before you stop?
I kind of just want to go for like an hour or so, and then when there's no one, just make my way back to the same spot in case Marigold decided to go through the woods instead of the road, and she's waiting for me there.
Okay.
Just do a little look-see
Okay.
when no one's looking. So
Okay. So I'm going to switch back quickly to Marigold and Turk as you trundle along trundle along with your cart and Ted north along the Buckland Road towards the Brandywine Bridge. It is much later than you had anticipated, and with a little bit of burst of speed put into Ted, you might make up a little bit of time. As you pass the halfway point, roughly near Brandy Hall, you're stopped by someone holding a lantern in the middle of the road. Whoa there, friend. Can I get you to make an animal handling check to make sure you can stop Ted? That would be to Marigold. All right. 10 was your DC. So he managed to pull the reins in and stop Ted in time before he ran over this poor hobbit. The hobbit kind of turns or goes around and comes to the side of the cart, holding the lantern up high above him. And you two see the familiar... Sorry?
Oh, just evening to you.
Oh, and good evening to you, young miss. And it's a young male hobbit in the uniform of a bounder, which is like a deputy. As may I ask what you're doing along this road at this hour? It's rather late for you to be out at this time.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. We had some trouble with the cart and just getting it properly loaded, and then Ted here, he's a bit hard-headed and kind of took us off the path a bit, and yeah, just too many troubles. And I'm supposed to be at the Brandywine Bridge to meet my cousin.
At this hour?
It's been a whole evening of trouble.
Oh, wait. You wouldn't happen to be named Marigold Banks now, would you?
Yes, that's right, sir.
Oh, there's a search advisory out for you. There's people that are worried sick about where you've been.
Oh, no. Yeah, there was just some trouble with the cart and just running a little bit later than I wanted.
Oh, your family is in hysterics. You should get home right away.
Of course, sir. I need to make sure my cousin's out not too late on the road and make sure she's safe too. Need to watch out for each other, you know.
Of course. Where do you call home, young lady?
Oh shoot. Son of a tea biscuit. I can't remember it off the top of my head. It's in my notes. Oh my gosh. It's in the wrong notes. Of course it is. Okay, so
think it was near Crick Hollow, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And now I'm actually in the right notes and I can't find it, so I'm kicking
Yeah.
myself. I
So
know it looking at a map of Buckland though.
you're actually not that far from home right now. You're probably maybe about a 10, 15-minute ride from home. But you're about
Oh,
another good hour to the Brandywine Bridge.
yeah, yeah. I I am just it's one of those silly muggins kinds of a day where nothing quite goes right. We were leaving a little bit earlier before twilight, and just wouldn't you know, everything that could go wrong went wrong, and I've left a cousin stranded up on the bridge, I'm sure, and I hope she hasn't, worried too much. And
You can see him kind of wondering. Well, if you like, I can send me. I can go up to the Brandywine Bridge and retrieve your cousin for you if you want to head back home. I'll make sure she's safe and sound.
um no, because we're actually supposed to be heading into Bree. Um she's porting some of her family's tobacco, and I'm hauling some of my family's goods too.
At this hour?
Well, as I said, we were trying to get on the road earlier. Just everything that could go wrong went wrong, sir.
Can you make a persuasion check for me, please?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Please, oh, please, oh, please work. All right.
He seems a little unconvinced. He says, young miss, these roads, you may be in Buckland and it's relatively safe, but your parents are worried sick, and I just could not live with myself if I knew you were still trundling along these roads in the dead of night. It's just not proper.
Well, tell you what, sir. Why don't you cross around Ted and climb up on the bench with me? We'll go collect up my cousin, and that way you'll know that we're not alone, and we can bid you a good evening there.
Can you make another persuasion check for me, please?
Yeah. Can't leave Goldie out on the road by herself. That wouldn't be proper.
You're right. You're right. I'll make sure all of you get home safely then tonight. And he makes to go around Ted and climb up beside you. All right, he climbs up. All right, let's get going. I'll get you all home safely. And do you want to drive at a faster speed again, or?
Oh no, I'm gonna take it nice and easy. There's a bounder on the cart, and I don't need to ruffle any more feathers.
Okay. Tarek, can you make a stealth check for me, please, with advantage?
He certainly can. Oh,
10. All right. As you are trundling along the road, everything seems to be going fine for about half an hour. And then the woman starts to stir. You hit a bump in the road and she lets out a slow groan. The bounder in the front seat turns to you, Marigold, and says, "Huh? Did you hear that?"
What? No, didn't hear a thing. Maybe it was a. What did it sound like?
It sounded like
Where'd
something
you
is
go?
in your. Is someone in your cart? Maybe I should take a look.
Oh, I don't think that's necessary, sir. We would just slow us down. We can't leave Goldie on the road, especially not after nightfall.
Turk, you hear this conversation. Is there anything you'd like to do at this point?
Is the officer indicating that they are going to start poking around, or are they believing?
I'll have actually Marigold make another persuasion check to see if she can
Oh my
convince him
God.
to stay in the seat.
Uh, please work. Please work.
Oh no.
Oh!
Okay. Here comes the first wrench in the campaign. So Bounder says, no, I insist. Stop the cart. Something's back there. I'm sure I heard something.
Oh, it's just me.
Excuse me. And he cranes his neck as he turns around. Do you reveal yourself, Turk?
Yep, it's just me. It's just me. I was catching a free ride.
What is the meaning of this? And he turns to you, Marigold. Did you know that you had a stowaway?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he holds the lantern up close so he can see your face, Turk. It's, who are you, young man? And he just kind of, as he leans forward, he kind of catches a whiff of something and just kind of pulls back a bit with a kind of crinkled up nose.
Oh, I know. I've been having to move the gong out at night. They've got me doing the gong run again.
The what run?
You know, gong farmers. You know what a gong farmer is, don't you?
Of course I know what a gong farmer is. Don't be silly. He just sits himself back in the bench and says, "Oh, just be still and quiet back there."
Yes. I'm just going up for more work in Bree. They need more gong farmers up there.
I'm sure they do. Can you make a deception check for me, please, Turk?
That's a good story. Do I get advantage?
No, sorry.
No? Okay. Oh,
That's good enough for him, though. You can just hear the Bounder sitting in the front seat, whispering to himself, "Gong farmer. That was a gong farmer." But he doesn't make any other mention of it, and you manage to arrive finally at your destination, Brandywine Bridge. And what is Goldie doing at this time? This is like hours past when you had arranged to meet up with Marigold.
I just to have probably done the like little back and forth a little bit, like going in another direction and trying to like I'm not gonna go to father. I can do this. I don't need help. Everything's fine. Um we're fine. And just like circling a tree maybe. Just maybe I should go. Maybe I should. Marigold's fine. She's fine.
Just as you are both to lose hope and are really concerned, both for your friend and for yourself, wondering whether or not you should try and find some shelter that night, you hear the trundling of the cart approaching you. Finally.
Kind of peek, and if I see them, I'll just Marigold.
Hey, Goldie. There was some trouble with the cart.
Oh,
Anything and
I
everything that could go wrong went wrong tonight.
knew
As
it.
you
How is Ted?
pull
What?
as you pull the cart up, the bounder hops out and says, "Well, I see that a lot of you have gotten together. Now I have to make myself scarce and head back to the Shire for the night, or the missus will have my hide. You go along and make sure you get home safely now."
Oh, for certain, for certain.
Alrighty then, young lady. And he looks to you, Goldie, and says, "Go on, get on board. I want to see you head off before I turn."
Thank you. I'm gonna climb up. Daisy sent you.
Yes, Daisy did
Share it.
mention that Marigold was missing.
Oh, well, thank you so much for your help. I'll take another pie out and I'll give it to him. If you ever want pies, mother, the best, down at the Glandaware farm, please go. Thank you so much for your help, sir.
Oh, he seems rather surprised at this gift. Oh, much obliged. I was only doing my duty, but thank you so much. I truly do appreciate this. Now, you young ones, get back to your families. They're worried about you.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have a little dinner here, just so Ted can rest a little bit, and then we'll do that. Thank you so much.
Can you make a persuasion check?
Oh shit. What's my persuasion? Okay. I didn't buy.
Okay, that's not too bad. He hums and haws about this and says, "I'd really love to see you off. Make sure you're at least going in the right direction. I don't want you going off to Bree tonight. It's too late for that nonsense."
Oh.
But
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But Ted, I'm pretty sure Marigold told you, is a little hard-headed, and if he misses his dinner, we're gonna end up in the river. We're following you in no time. I'll sit on horse.
Very well.
Is Turk?
Very well. Turk is still riding the back of the cart. At least he's revealed himself, though.
Okay.
The bounder just kind of like looks at the pie, looks at you, and says, "All right, young'uns, don't be the death of me now. Get home safe."
What? Thank you, sir.
He takes a bite out of the pie and heads across the bridge back into the Shire, leaving the three of you alone.
When he's out of sight and of her hearing, what is going on?
I'll motion Goldie to climb up onto the bench.
I'll climb.
And I'll lean over into the cart and I'll pull back the blanket some, and holding my finger across my face in front of my nose, just and show her the recumbent woman in the back of the wagon, or in the cart.
Where did you find her?
I'll just start accusatorily pointing at Turk and just.
Where'd you find them? I thought it was supposed to be just us. What's happening?
Well, seeing as we were heading into Bree anyway.
Will the two of you just get going to Bree? I need to get some sleep.
I would like to know some of this. Why do we have to go home? I did tell Daisy not to say anything.
Is that Pounder still around? Do you see him?
Do I see him?
I'm going to get off from the driver's bench,
Mhm.
and maybe pull some fodder or something from the back of the cart to give to Ted to at least make it look like Goldie's story is coming through.
Okay. You can make a perception check with disadvantage to see if you can spot the bounder lurking about.
Wait, who's making it?
All of you, actually, if you like. We've already established that Marigold is not good at these. Oh my gosh.
Check with disadvantage.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh yeah, he's long gone. Not inside at all.
So,
no.
while I'm foddering Ted, I'll explain that, well, I had to go meet up with Turk,
Mhm.
and when I found Turk, he had found her, and now we have to get gone.
Okay. Where is? Why? When? Who? Do we know
We don't
who?
know.
Did you guys do this?
No. Well, no.
Okay. I don't know.
No.
I'll be impressed.
She was drowning in the river.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is she okay?
I think so. I wrapped up what I could see with some hankies. Yeah.
She's breathing. No, we can see her breathe.
Do you want to check on her? See if she's breathing. Okay. Go ahead and make a medicine check, whoever's checking on her.
I'll check on her. Let me see. Medicine. Oh, here's wisdom, but for us is intelligence.
It's intelligence in this game, yes.
So I'll do this. Maybe.
Yep. All right. She's
craft work.
Definitely alive, breathing shallowly, raggedly. And I'll say with the 17, you can also tell, like, even though she's bleeding quite profusely, although it's been bandaged and bound, these wounds, the blood is soaking through, and you can see almost blackness kind of spreading from these wounds. It looks like it's become infected.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, but she's bad off, and we can't just leave her at like Brandy Hall or, drag her up to Bywater or something, and couldn't leave her on the bank of the river to die.
No, we can't.
Yeah, Ted has had long enough. I'm gonna try to get back onto the cart and get him moving again, while continuing the conversation.
Okay.
And this way, it also keeps Goldie from having a chance from hopping off, unless she wants to hop off the moving cart.
No. Goldie's in. Goldie's so excited.
But
okay,
we need to get her into Bree.
Yeah.
When you
at least that's where the tall folk are.
As soon as you say the word Bree, the woman stirs a little bit, and you all hear her hoarsely cry out, "Bree! Imladris!" Before she passes out again.
Well, then we certainly need to get her to Bree then.
All right. Did the sheriff talk to your family? Is that why you have to go back?
I don't know. Turk and I were fishing in the Brandywine trying to haul her out for a good part of the evening. And if we head back to my family's house, Dad's gonna lose it because Turk is here, and we all know he's a bad seed.
Oh,
Well,
your family's just going to be happy that you're alive. Let's get on to Bree.
So, yeah, we just need to get it moving.
Yes, yes.
And onwards.
All right. So the woman is now in a semi-conscious state, and she just keeps continuing saying, mumbling, Bree, Imladris, Bree,
We're going to Bree.
Imladris.
Tell her we're going to Bree.
All right.
We're going to Bree. Does she have a fever?
She is burning up.
Do either
And
of you know of a healer in Bree?
if you were to leave now, it's not going to be until really late tomorrow night that you arrive at Bree.
tomorrow.
Yes, you will not arrive there tonight. It's a full, almost 2-day journey. But if you push yourselves, you can get there in like 24 hours.
Can
Wow, they made it seem so much shorter in the movie.
Yes, that was incorrect. It is actually quite far.
it's good? Yeah. Can we sleep? This is on can we sleep in a moving cart?
Yes, you can.
Like,
It won't be
we
the
get
best sleep. You'll get like a equivalent of a short rest, but someone has to drive all times if you're not good.
Yeah.
And Ted has to stop. He cannot be pulling for 24 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll take it in shifts.
Yeah, but how long have you guys been going now? Like Ted?
You guys have been out and about for about better part of 6 hours now.
6 hours. Jesus Christ. That's a long time. Okay, well, she's gonna have to wait anyways to get there. Now, I say let's find an area that's not gonna be so trafficked, that there's not gonna be people, because I really don't want to find anyone else looking for us. Give Ted a little rest so you can take a little napsy snaps, and then we keep going. And we take turns, we sleep, we can do this. And she probably just needs food, you guys. Have you tried feeding her?
No, it slipped my mind.
I understand. But let's just go a little bit and
Okay.
find a corner of a road so we can camp this
Alright.
poor Ted.
Would any of us be aware of King's Foil tea?
Unless any of you have proficiency in herbalism kit, no.
Okay.
I choose good utensils.
Would it be okay for me to make a travel check to be aware of any just camp spots off the
Oh.
Great Road?
Yeah, sure.
That's something.
Yep.
Yeah, that's something I would also know because that's kind of what I kind of do as well.
All right. Both of you guys can make the check, or one of you can make it with advantage. Up to you.
I think Turk's probably a little bit more traveled, so why don't you take the advantage?
Okay, so I've clicked on travel, drag to modify. So this is use, correct?
Looks.
Oh,
Yep.
see, it didn't give me an advantage though.
Just roll it again. Let's see.
Yeah. See, it says drag to modify advantage. Oh, see, it's not doing it. Okay.
Okay, so 16. Yes, you do know of a rest stop along the way that you can pull off and perhaps find a little bit of privacy and seclusion away from prying eyes. Not too far, probably a few hours ride along the Great East West Road towards Bree.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
So you make off?
yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Listen to Turk's suggestion. because I couldn't think of a place.
All right. So you make off towards Bree. It is now probably closer to 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe a little later. And by the time you arrive at this place that Turk knows about, it is probably close to 6 a.m. The roads up until this point have been deserted. No one is traveling the roads at this time of night. But as dawn picks up, you see, and there is more activity that's going to start to occur on the highway.
Mhm.
So you pull off the side. How long are you going to rest there?
How long does a pony need?
He needs to sleep.
He needs
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like a good 8 hours.
So I'll loosen him up from his tack and at least tie him up to a long lead on the cart or so.
Okay.
And make sure he has some fodder down that he can get to.
Yep.
Mhm. And
So
we
to
can
put-
hide from the rail, right?
I'm going to have you guys each make either survival or a stealth check to see how well hidden you managed to make your little camp.
Okay.
Okay.
well,
Are you going?
This should be a special spot. It should be relatively
Yeah.
secretive.
Yeah, it'll be a low DC, but I also want to know if you're setting a campfire, because that's going to give you disadvantage if you have a campfire.
No campfire, guys. No. We can't have
No.
any tea.
We have cold food. We have snacks.
I
Alright.
just remembered. I have sweet cakes, spiced sweet cakes for my mom that we can all snack on before going to bed. So I will break into that and pass it around.
Because I
No.
probably need the pies.
Now, can the pony have a short rest rather than a long rest? Long 8-hour rest?
You can. You will be pushing the horse into possible exhaustion if you continue without a long rest, though.
Can any of us tell how long we think the woman might have left?
And whoever wants to check can make a medicine check for me.
Yeah, I was gonna try to spend some time before bedding down looking up after her and see if there's any way to rinse clean anything, or I don't know. Medicine's not what I do. Oh gosh.
Who wants to make
Goldie,
that
what
check?
about you? What about you, Goldie?
Okay. That's
Is
Goldie's.
there any Gold is eating? No. Is there any tea I know, or plant I know that kind of helps with ailments, or would that be if I have?
That would be part of your medicine
Herbalism.
check. And yeah, you need proficiency with herbalism to know these things. Otherwise, it would be a straight medicine check, which you've done here, which is a 7.
Mhm.
And can you describe to me what you're doing in terms of checking her out, or what are you doing with that medicine check?
Oh, I was going to be checking on her bandages to see if there's any way that I might be able to replace them or at least get her more cleaned. From my check last night, investigating her, I saw that there was a blackness spreading from her, and I'm sure that sounds bad. But really, right now, I'm just trying to make sure that she's stable, and if I can put clean dressings on her, or somehow rinse the drying blood from the hankies that I have on her.
Okay. You do the best you can. You replace the dressings with clean ones. But as you do so, it is clear to you that the infection is spreading and that she is deteriorating. She's now in full sweat, fevers, chills. Her eyes are kind of rolling back up on the top of her head. And she's just in a bit of a stupor and haze, just continuously repeating the same words: Bree, Imladris.
And I'll try to soothe her, and while I'm checking in on her bandages, and tell her we're heading to Bree. We're heading to Bree. We're going to get you to Bree.
All right. You sit by her side, trying to, as you change her dressings and trying to comfort her. She does not seem to be responding. So how long are you going to stay here? Are you going to just stay for the 1 hour for the short rest and push on? Or do you want to stay for the full 8 hours?
Jeez. We're gonna kill Ted.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't. If I push Ted too far, that's gonna be too much.
Yeah.
But I mean, we need to. Can we maybe split the difference? Just catch a nice little doze, maybe. When Ted seems a little bit more rested.
Oh,
Get him
yeah.
back in the intact, then get going again.
Sorry,
I mean,
yes.
it's hours.
One other thing as well in this game, I forgot. Sorry. The short rest is 8 hours.
Oh,
So we're
You don't,
doing
you,
it.
yeah, you don't get the benefits of a short rest until you've rested for 8 hours, especially when you're on the road.
okay.
Oh yeah. Was it long rest like just in town?
Yes, when you're in a safe place, not in a process of traveling from one point to another. That's
Okay.
Yeah. Let's maybe do the 8 hours and then we can push him
Mm-hmm.
and make it there. Because if he dies on the road, we're not gonna make it there. 'Cause I cannot carry long people. They no. You can do that. Look awkward.
all right.
So I think we're shaking.
Okay. So for the next 8 hours, you hunker down. I need you to make your survival or stealth checks now to see how well hidden you remain throughout this day.
All right.
All right. Not a problem. You manage to stay hidden. You do hear a fair amount of traffic along the Great Road. Can you each make a perception check for me too, please? Straight up.
Perception.
All right. Goldie, as you are perhaps taking shifts, watching the road, making sure no one comes your way, you do see what looks to be a team of bounders with what looks to be some folk from Buckland making their way towards Bree and calling out, "Marigold, Marigold, Goldie, Marigold," as they walk past your encampment.
Oh no. I had a question and I should have asked this before. Was this trip a secret?
No.
It wasn't. Okay. Oh shit. Okay.
You
I'm
remain
not gonna wake anyone.
okay. You just remain hidden. Okay. It is now about 2 p.m. Your 2 p.m. Your short rest is up. you can saddle up and get going if you like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You notice that the weather has turned as well. It looks like rain is coming.
Oh no.
As we're getting ready, okay, just so you're aware, they are looking for us. I saw someone pass as you were sleeping. I say that if we find them when we cross, let's just put it together so we're not putting it together on the road. Turk, come here. If we cross them, we say that we must have crossed off, Ted needed rest, we couldn't make it that night into home, that we made it home after they left. And that we probably crossed paths and that's why they didn't know that we had gone home. Everything's fine. By the time they're back, everything's solved, we're good.
Okay. So we pulled off the road
So we
to
could
rest and let Ted rest.
Yes. Ted.
After he rested, we
hurt
turned
himself.
around and headed back into Buckland.
Yep.
Caught up with the
Because it was too late.
families. But
Yep.
they had already left.
Mm-hmm.
And then we set out on the road.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay. I'm really not comfortable with lying to.
Me neither. This is
So-
awful.
Turk.
Just cross your fingers when you have to say anything like that.
Oh,
No, cross your toes too.
Fine.
No.
Okay.
But they won't
All right.
believe me. They'll have to believe you.
Granddad's right. You're a bad influence.
So you take a few moments to put away your bedrolls, check on the lady one last time. Her condition seems to have obviously not improved, maybe deteriorated a little bit. You hitch Ted back up to the cart, and off you go.
All right.
You head off east towards Bree. And thankfully, perhaps it's because of the inclement weather that is coming, the traffic along the road seems to have diminished somewhat. And those who do pass you seem to pay you no heed. And by the evening, it is now a steady rain has now descended upon the road.
I was going to ask,
Mhm.
can I try to urge Ted on? Not
Okay.
so that he's trying to move at a full gait or anything like that, but just pulling a little bit harder, pulling a little bit faster. Not full on like urging and whipping, but just like, yes, let's make sure we get a move on.
All right. Go ahead and make an animal handling check for me, please.
Okay. My gosh. Please work. Did it roll?
Yeah, you got a 5. All right. So I need the other two of you to make dexterity saving throws for me, please.
Sorry.
All right. Turk, as she tries to gently prod Ted to go faster, he does not respond well to this stimulus at all. He bucks a little bit and jolts again. You were not prepared this time, however, and you fall out of the cart and you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall face first into the mud, and the cart, along with your friends and Ted, goes racing down the road away from you.
So I'll have to get my sorry butt off the gravel and run after them.
All right. um, I need Marigold to make a perception check for me, please. Goldie can make one as well, too, please. Okay, thank God for Goldie. Marigold, you have no clue that Turk just fell off the back of your cart. However, Goldie, you hear the thud, splash, and a little bit of a hey cry out from behind you. Uh,
Oi! Oi!
Oh no, Marigold, stop! Oh no, we lost him.
Oh my god.
I'll
What
try to help stop Ted. We lost Turk. Stop!
Oh my god. No. I'll try to bring Ted to a stop.
okay, can you make another animal handling check for me, please?
You
Can
know
I
I
help?
can't. Oh no.
No.
Goldie, you recall your father's warning about Marigold driving abilities.
We're being
Marigold,
safe.
you
Oh,
you managed to pull the reins in tight enough for Ted to come to a halt, and he seems a little flustered, tired, and a little annoyed now. You can see him kind of stomping and like chomping at the bit.
I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry, buddy. We'll just go. Oh my gosh, this just isn't working. In the stories, it sounds so easy. It's like the heroes just decide they need to get going, and the horses know it, and they just go rushing off. Ted, you need to listen to more of the stories. Okay, this is urgent.
okay.
Don't you have any heroism thumping through your horse heart in there?
While we wait for Turk to get back on the cart, I'll grab an apple and I'll see if I can calm Ted down. It's
Okay,
okay, Theodore. We're all stressed. I know. It's okay.
go ahead and
We
make an
can do
animal
this.
handling check, right, please, with advantage.
Okay. Don't mind me. I love making wisdom my dumb stat. Oh, with advantage. Sorry. I made it with disadvantage.
Okay, I'll look at your rolls and take the higher of the two. A 9 minus 1 is an 8.
9. Oh, but I have
Plus 1.
proficiency.
So you have 10. What
10.
is it? 10. Um, you can just see him. I mean, if horses or ponies could give you dirty looks, this is a dirty look. But he just kind of takes the apple from your hand, just kind of gives you almost a side eye as he starts just munching on it.
We'll get there. And you have fresh hay and you have fresh apples. I promise I'll keep just my apples for you.
This gives you a.
Let's just try to get there.
All right.
I'm
Turk.
sorry. I'm sorry, folks. I'm going to have to leave.
Okay.
Is it okay? Do you think can I trust my two cousins to get Ted to leave?
Okay. If you, I'll just let you know now. You're like 10 minutes away from ending. If you want to hang out.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll chomp the bit.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No.
So you climb back on, and you travel now at a normal pace. I'm assuming, Bree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At this time, it's stretching on into the night. You have not passed anyone with the rain. No sign of the hobbits either that were looking for you. However, can you all make a quick perception check for me, please? With disadvantage.
Whoa. That's disadvantaged. That's wonderful, Goldie.
Goldie, you
I
are
didn't
rough.
do this at very no.
You all kind of start to feel a little bit more relaxed as you can start seeing the lights of Bree ahead of you. Okay, that was 12. It's still good. Through the clouds and the rain and the darkness, and you feel a sense of relief almost as you realize you're almost there. When Goldie, you look to your right, you are passing what's known as the Barrow Downs, a set of hills, rolling hills that extend for miles to your south, and you see perched on top of one of them a rider, the black cloaks upon a black horse, watching you. Upon seeing you, he kicks his heels into his horse and gallops towards you.
No.
He will catch you at this rate if you continue at your normal pace. He will catch you within probably within a minute. He will be upon you.
How far are we from Bree?
You can see the gates from here almost. But he will catch you before you get to the gates. The only way you'll get to the gates is if you manage to spur Ted on.
I will. We will do it. Mary, go! And oh, I don't know if I want to do this, but I'm gonna yell. Go, Dad! Hurry!
All right,
We're going.
Marigold, are you going to spur
Okay,
Ted
so
on?
you're gonna kill Ted.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna yell back to Turk to
Okay.
hold on.
Okay.
And
Holding on. I'm holding on. Go, go.
uh, please, just one good roll tonight.
16, that's good enough. Ted bursts
Alright.
off into a sprint as the rider bears down upon you. I just need to make a few quick rolls here. Turk, as Ted jolts off, you've managed to hold your ground. The lady doesn't roll out of the cart, but your barrel of ale teeters precariously on the edge of the cart. Are you going to try and save it or let it go?
What are the chances that the barrel will actually impede the Black Rider?
None.
Okay. So, is it one of these things that if I fail, I can actually fall off?
If you critically fail, you will fall out.
And I see the Black Rider,
Yes, you do.
and I'm terrified. I'm going to not worry about trying to grab it. Oh, I can't believe I'm saying this. Oh, my profits, my profit. Okay, off it goes.
All right. It smashes off the back of the cart, spilling open and beer just flooding the already sodden road. And your heart wrenches at the sight of this. I need each of you actually to make a charisma saving throw with advantage.
Charisma. Oh, shadow
Mm-hmm.
with advantage. Uh-oh. Did not.
Just waiting for Marigold and Goldie for their charisma saving throws.
Oh, sorry, I heard just
Yeah.
Turk.
Nope,
Yeah,
all of you do. Yep.
you say with advantage?
With
We're
advantage.
hobbits.
Yes,
Yeah,
with
we're hobbits.
advantage.
Okay.
Ooh,
Wait.
um,
Save or check? Sorry, he's
Save.
not here.
Saving throw.
Oh my god. No, stop doing that. Jesus Christ. I don't know what I did.
Okay. Yep, I see. Oh, that you roll again because you only rolled. You didn't roll with advantage. And still waiting for Marigold to roll.
Hold on, let me turn my camera off.
That's no. This I needed a charisma save. Sorry, not
yeah, I
intelligence.
don't know why it rolled intelligence. I grabbed charisma. I'm sorry.
Weird. Okay.
I'm having some really bad lag in the app.
Hmm.
Yes.
Oh, hold on. I think it might be the motion. Okay, so Goldie. All right, Turk. As you watch this barrel smash behind you, and your heart just kind of drops, you see the rider behind you. He's not more than 100 feet behind you, but you can see him clearly. He is a man. His face is pale. He has a full beard. And as he sees you, he gives a low, like you can see him snarl a bit, and he pulls out a wicked long sword. You gain 1 point of shadow. Turk. Spurring on Ted, can you? I'm going to have Marigold actually. Can you just roll a d20 for me, please? I'm just going to make a quick check to see if Ted suffers from any exhaustion. Yeah, he's a tough one. He's fine. All right. You managed to pull into in front of the gates of Bree. Hold on, where'd it go? Oh, I do not want to do that. Ah, okay, I know what's going on. This will help. You find yourselves at the gates of Bree. When you stop there, you can see the rider also stops. He's still about 100 feet off from you, but will not approach any closer.
Are the gates open?
No, they are closed.
I'll jump off the cart and I'll go knock real quick. Help, please.
All right. You can see the top shutter open, just like in the movies. The watchman doesn't see anyone. And a brief moment later, the lower slot opens, and you see a grizzled man behind there. It's a late time for hobbits to be traveling the roads.
It is. It's been a very, very, very long day, and there's someone following us. Can we please get him? Please, please, please. We just have to get him, please.
He kind of looks behind you. Don't see anyone.
Oh, mother. Turn around. Is it still there?
No.
Oh, I was like, wait, are we the only ones? It was there, I promise. Well.
I hate to see hobbits, wet hobbits in the rain. Get your little butts in here, and you can hear him unlatch some things and swings the large gates open, allowing your cart to enter.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let's go.
All right. And just 2 blocks past the gate, you see the sign of the Inn of the Prancing Pony. Perhaps a safe place for you to find refuge at last on your brief but eventful journey from Buckland to Bree.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. Oh, I would have not been able. Well, actually, that's up to you, LM. would I would literally be holding on to the cart, looking at the Black Rider. What he stopped, but did he disappear or did he turn and leave?
As soon as he saw Marigold pounding on the door to be let in, he turned his horse around and left.
Okay.
And so that's where we'll end our session 0.9. And next week, we'll pick up in Bree with the rest of the folks.
We are alive.
I am the best cart drover ever.
You have a story. Good night,
All
everyone.
right. All right. Thanks
Have
for
a good
hanging
night.
out. All right.
With us.
Have a good night. All right. Any questions about tonight's? I'm just going to stop the recordings.